And I think we are live. Give me just some time to share it into Facebook, in the website, and we can start. Chuk, chuk, chuk. Okay, it's in the Facebook event. It's on the Facebook page. Oh, I said it doesn't matter. Okay. Teilen. Einbeten. And tuk, tuk, tuk. And we should be on the website, thebattleisover.org also. It's not ready yet. Okay. I think I'm done with the technical stuff and now we can focus. Bernard, after you.
So, but shall we wait a little bit, Etienne, until give some space for people to enter, or do we start? What do you think? If somebody is entering the Zoom meeting?
I don't know. Let's start and people will join. They know how to join, they have the possibilities, so I guess starting will make them come.
Okay. So for everybody who is watching us, I want to welcome you. It's the second event of our movement, of the time after our video, The Battle is Over, from Man to Woman. And the event is just the idea to open a space for everybody to join us and to share everything which is somehow connected with the film. What is your experience with the message of the film, and what did you think about the film? How did it touch you? How did you feel watching it? Did you like it? Something did you like? Didn't you like it? Or would you have done something different? Or do you maybe plan to do something different? Did it change something for you? Did it inspire you to maybe show to somebody some vulnerable part of you? Did you experience some connection to people in opening up and showing vulnerable? So everything is welcome, and we just open the space and welcome you to join us and to share our and your experience with the film. So before we start, I would like to invite you for a little meditation to connect us in the moment we are four in the Zoom space, and to get a little bit deeper into our bodies and connect us before we start talking. So I like to invite you to close your eyes for a moment, and I like to invite you to imagine that now in the Zoom space, we are 4 men sitting in Germany, in France, in Argentina, and in Brazil. And out there in the streaming, I don't know where, but probably in many, many other countries. And I would like to invite you for a moment to imagine that we are who meet now in this space. We take our hands, and we take our hands together, and each of us sends a light from his heart, full of brotherhood and the feeling of, okay, now we are together and we meet here as brothers in a spirit of supporting us, supporting each other, sharing, showing up, helping us, and just being together, enjoying the energy of brotherhood, of being supportive to each other and being safe with each other. And so I invite you to imagine a light that that connects all our hearts and all over the world right now, like a net, like an energy net. And just let this picture increase for a moment inside you and feel it and let it spread in your body, extend in your body. And while you are in this picture, just take some deep breath and feel your body full of light and full of brotherhood and full of connection. And feel the energy, how it's flowing all over the world. Maybe you feel the ground where you are sitting under you, supporting you. How it supports your body to be safe and to be here. And just take some deep breaths. Maybe you can feel the beauty of being connected with other men who are in the same space to show up, to be honest, to be true, who are really open to get connection and connected and to step into this brotherhood and being together. And how good that feels, not to be alone, to be with brothers. Take some more deep breath and extend it in the whole body. And slowly you can come back and open your eyes, come back to our space, each in his speed. And then I would like to, Etienne, are you still there?
Yes, just give me a minute.
Then I would like to continue before we open the space for the sharing. I would like to continue with Etienne, who is explaining a little bit what happened after launching the film, about how many people, or how did we reach people? What were the reactions? What were the maybe some overview about feedback and all this? So Etienne, if you are there right now, I just see a beautiful picture. Now it's you. If you like, you could continue now.
Yes. I'm in the technical stuff. So this is it. Hello, everybody. And thank you, Bernard, for the opening. The technical stuff, the first thing to say is it was impressive to see the video being shared on Facebook and each person sharing it like a stone you send in the water and ripple effects. I'm going to see how many. I think we reached 30,000 views on Facebook and something like 15,000 on YouTube. So it's quite impressive to see how the movie spread by itself. Yeah, we are at 13,000 on YouTube and more than 13,000 on YouTube and 30,000 on Facebook. What is also very impressive is that the video has been shared more than 600 times. So each person who watched the video, not each person, but some person who watched the video and liked it, they shared it, and I spent a lot of time watching each person sharing it and saying, wow, you should watch that, and to see all the beautiful comments. And I think it really touched people. So I've tried to read all the feedbacks and commentaries from people sharing the video, and it was really beautiful. So we touched altogether on Facebook 70,000 people with 3,200 reactions, commenters, and sharings, comments. And we have like, I don't know, more than 1,000 likes and 758 I love it. And most of the sharings were made by women, sharing how it touched them, how it made them cry, how they were touched by the message, and they were really thanking us. Like, I think we have been thanking women from Women to Men video. So it really spread to a lot of places, people, and it was beautiful, and it is still beautiful to see how the video moves and lives by itself now. Two other things that surprised us is the subtitles on YouTube. It's really easy on YouTube to add some subtitles, and some people added some Italian subtitle. We also had some Hungarian from Hungary, and there was also a woman from Russia, a psychotherapist, connecting and reaching us, asking if she could translate to Russian. So we also have a Russian version now, and we added for Facebook, because people asked it, some translation in order to have subtitle for each language. So we now have 8 languages with subtitle. We started with 5, the 5 from our initial countries. And I must say, it's really heartwarming. It's really beautiful to see how it spreads and all the feedbacks, and to produce the video and to create the video. All the time we spent before releasing the video was something, and now to see it like moves and create bubbles of love, of feedbacks, of people saying, women saying thank you. There's also a woman in France called Marie M, and she did a video about the violence of women, and it was released April 20th, so 1 month before us. And she reached us, and we met in between in France. she's not really far from where I live. So we had the occasion to make a 40-minute video together to share about men's violence and women's violence. So it was also, that's something that I feel is in the field now, is part of my life now, and something I can't go back on about. So for the technical updates and statistics, that would be it. What about we start sharing about personal sharing together? Like, what did it change in our life to have released the video, and in our personal experience or in our behavior 1 month after the video is released? How do we feel as men with this object being live now in the world, and with this part of us being visible? How does it feel to walk naked? Do you want to share? Does one of you want to share? Or should I start?
Just started.
Okay. Well, the first thing I can say is I feel better. I feel better now. I feel more whole, more complete. And there's this kind of little voices inside of me that I wanted to hide, as deep as possible, as profound as possible. And the fact to be able to show them and to take responsibility for it, I feel like I can't hide them anymore. So it's part of me, and this is who I am. And the question is not if I like them or if I'm at ease with them. I don't like them, these parts of me, it's clear. But instead of hiding them and fighting against them, just to be able to show up and to own them is really something that has make me, I believe, more complete, stronger. And in this last month, I felt really a huge force and strength of brotherhood, being with you guys and being together in this project. Even when we released the video and we were all 30 all together, I felt like nothing could happen to me. And I changed my job recently because of the COVID epidemic. And knowing I was working on this project with you felt like not a lifeboat, like a rescue boat, but like really something strong in my life, something that made sense, that was the greatest project I could work on. And I can feel sometimes I'm a bit sad that it doesn't spread more, or it hasn't touched more people. And at the same time, each comment that I see, each sharing that I see is really like a gift, like a present of people saying, okay, it's moving slow, it's moving step by step, but it's going in the right direction. And I need to learn that it is slow, but it is right. And yeah, I feel some jealousy. I feel some big jealousy when I see the women, and especially my girlfriend, my love, Julie. She's making a women's circle, and it feels like there's a lot of women that are ready for it, and there's a lot of women that needs it, that wants it, that ask for it. And I feel like me as a man, it's really harder for me to be able to say, when people ask me what I do, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing men's circle and men's work, and I feel a bit ashamed. I feel like I'm not legitimate. I feel like I'm not a clown, but there's something in me that is still afraid of taking this place, of leading this part. Even if I love it, if I know it makes sense when I'm with you, I know it's my role, and I know I can play this role, this part. But there's still a huge feeling of feeling like, who am I to say I'm gonna guide and teach men how to be a man? Who am I? And yeah, it's really, I want to go through this. I want to embrace this, but I feel like I'm searching what has happened to men. What is the story behind this? well, why am I so doubtful about myself and about this role, when once I'm in it, I know it's the right place and the right thing to do. I feel like all this shaking and hesitating is really what I need to learn to get trust in myself, trust in manhood, trust in brotherhood, and trust that I'm the right guy. I can do it. That's part of the movement I'm in at the moment. Really, like daring to take the step, to take risk, and choosing. And yeah, I'd love everything to be easy and to be woo. And though it has been a real path of surfing the wave, of connecting with you guys, and just thinking we are four across the world, and other people, other men from other countries, all together, is really, it has opened a field. And I've worked also, and I've become really more aware of all the places that I'm judging Julie, where I'm diminishing her, where I'm taking power over her, in order not to face all the dirty places, all the dirty pieces of me, all the little crying Etienne that are ashamed, that would think if she succeeds, she won't stay with me. If she's that good, she will find somebody better than me, and she will leave me. And I can see all these mechanisms that I try to, and I can tell her now once I see it. And it has brought a lot of clarity for me in the relationship, and a lot of peace, to be able to see all these places where I try, some parts of me want to diminish her in order to, not to shine more, but to keep power, to keep her with me, so she needs me. And that's dirty. I don't really like this part of me, but I can see it's working, it's happening. So it's all this work of all the places where I see her and I feel like, oh, she has this problem, or she had that problem, and she should do this, and she should do that, and she should speak like this, or she should say I, and she should use that verb, and all the places where I can be tyrannic. And I see that it's not her, it's about me. And she's just revealing all the places where I don't step up, when I'm not like taking really my role and sharing my needs, my desire, my truth, and all the places where I start to criticize and to try to modify her, to make her my thing, or to make her something that would be easier for me. It's speaking about me, and that's not that's not comfortable, but it's precious to be able to not think the other is a problem anymore, and to be like, okay, that's me, it's happening in me. That's because I don't play my role. I don't fully play my role, and I hide myself. And I feel like I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of trying to be safe, to hide behind I don't know what masks, or games, or role plays, and I feel really afraid of saying, yeah, but what will happen if I remove all this? But at the same time, I'm tired. I'm so tired that I want to get naked in the street and run and say, this is me. This is me, like it or not. This is what I love. This is what I want. And to be free of judgment. And I think the biggest judgment is my inner judgment. And I know the story from my family, and where it comes from. Don't do this, don't do that, hide this, don't say that, don't say this, don't say it like this, don't say it like that. So yeah, this is what I'm going through, and I try to open this space with men. I was also with men last Saturday, and the fact that I was sharing my difficulties, other men felt allowed to share about theirs, and it was beautiful to see, like, okay, in this violence and in all this shitty mechanism, not shitty, but dark mechanism of dominating and in all these places where there is violence in me, I'm slowly getting inside to discover that there is power in all these little voices that I didn't hear, that I didn't listen, that I say, oh, and I'm focusing now on seeing the places where I have violence, still have violence, physical violence or emotional violence or speaking violence, where I can be harsh with words, and see what is the gift for me behind this violence. Which part of me didn't I explore, and what voices did I shut down? And with the movement of the riots in the US, they said riots is the voice of the unheard. So I think for me now it's time to listen, to really listen deeply and carefully, without judging, to all these little voices that I don't want to hear. And that's good. I'm happy to share that with you. And yeah, it's still a long way, but I'm working on it. Aho. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Rahul.
Who wants to share? Who wants to go next?
I can continue. Fernando, you.
To continue. Thank you again. It was really nice listening to you and your sharing. And it made me think a lot about what has happened to me since we released the video. And one of the things is that part of me just really let go of the battle with my partner, but also with other women. And I can just notice that it's much easier to let go, instead of, oh no, I have to prove my point, I have to stand my ground, I have to win this battle here. So it's much easier since the video to say, oh, it's a battle. Whether I started the battle or the battle came from the other side, it's much easier to let go. Or it's much easier to notice it's happening. Sometimes I notice after it's already happening, and then I can, okay, I want to step back and get out of the battle. So that was quite nice and important. And also I think it became easier, as you said, Etienne, to just reveal whatever dark mechanism is working behind, underneath the surface, whether I'm trying to control, manipulate, or have the power or change the other person. So it became much easier to reveal that. And also to acknowledge in advance. Sometimes I can just notice that I'm more, in a more controlling stance. I just warn my partner, for example, I'm in that terrible mood today where I'm trying to control everything around me. So excuse me in advance. It's not about you. It's really about my own crazy stuff. But it has also been amazing when we first shared the movie with people we know. So here in Brazil, I share with the men group I'm part of, more than 200 men, and it was really touching to see their response. And then suddenly I felt this surge of happiness and sense of being at service. So really good to, especially some young men sharing with me that that's what they've been looking for, and I have the sense that maybe this new generation, they're more ready than us to step into the end of this battle, to end this battle with women. And I also was really moved when my partner, my wife, she watched the clip, the film, and she was really impacted by it, affected by it. And that was what got me really emotional, because it was so good to see that the message was reaching her and touching places that were meaningful for her as a woman, to listen to men say what they say in the film. So that was really special too. And I know here in Brazil and in this men's group I'm part of, we often talk about having moments where we can bring together men and women. And I was one that would always say, "Oh, I don't know if we're ready yet. I know it's gonna be a mess. It will end up in a huge battlefield with, the sides accusing each other, not listening to each other. I don't have energy for that. I don't want to deal with that." But more and more, I'm opening myself for that possibility, at least in my engagements in those situations. As I said, letting go of the battle. I don't think I have been tested to the extreme of, having a woman harshly accusing me as a man for something, for the film, for whatever, and having to deal with that. I know that I can usually take two stances. One is trying to be understanding, and the other is to shut myself and defend myself. And I don't like both ways, too understanding, too defensive. And I hope that with these changes that I have observed, next time I can really be in that conversation, in the difficulty it brings, and in the fact that maybe we disagree, maybe I just have to listen, and there's no battle to fight. It's not, we're not fighting over a point, or I'm not having to protect my identity or myself as a man or as a person. I think that's what has moved for me since we launched that film. And it has been great to be connected to you, and I've been busy here with many things, but it's always great to receive Etienne's emails. It's how great, we are together, and I can see inputs from Fernando and Bernhard and Sean, and that's nice to feel connected to you all. Ayaya, as we say in Brazil.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I could continue.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, Fernando. It was beautiful to hear you. And when I think what happened since we launched the film, I feel a little bit reminded in some films or some science fiction films I saw where the people watched a film and suddenly they were inside the film. And I don't know exactly what film they are, but I know this topic. I remember the topic, and that's a little bit for me what happened, because Etienne, you named it, that there was such a huge bonding happening. Also, Fernando, you said it, a bonding that happened between us. And that was something I felt so strong, and especially after the last event when we were really meeting in one space. I had the feeling, wow, what's happening here? These are men. It's just Etienne that I physically saw in France. All the other men, most of the other men from the last event, I never saw physically. But we were coming together. We were kind of a community, finding together by a passion and by a it's an idea. It's an idea about life, about an understanding of how do I want to live, and that's the common thing that makes us a group, and that brought us into an experiment or in an art piece, or I don't know how to name it, but let's saying okay, let's really be honest. Let's try to be really honest and don't hide our truth in front of us. And by magic, you know, that I didn't have this intention, because I thought more, okay, let's make a film and show it to people. But like for me, it's like a little miracle what happened between all the participants and between us organizers, and the magic for me, and that's something. After our meeting, I felt like crying, because I was so touched to be with you and to feel safe with you and to feel connected with you. And because it takes, I need a lot, takes me a lot of courage to show up, especially in the internet. I'm not used to do that open, but I had the feeling, wow, I have my brothers with me and I'm really powerful like this. And when I really put the focus on that, it's the miracle of, wow, we created really connection. It really happened inside the film. What I thought I would talk about for other people. No, it happened inside the film. And somehow I feel to all the participants, because they show their open face and their vulnerable face, because they show it, they don't hide it. You know, I just love them, and I feel, wow, okay, you are really like me. I can see you. You have all these feelings I have, and you don't play the game of the strong man who knows everything and is strong and never fears something, and then I can feel, okay, I really love you, and I feel connected, and I can see you are a beautiful man, and you are powerful, and you are honest, and I don't know, it's an heart opening for me happening in the process of bringing this message into the world, and also now getting honest responses on the film. When I read that, and I can feel, you know, women really thanking us from the bottom of their heart. Whenever I touch this honesty, I was so deeply touched, and I have the feeling, wow, this is the miracle of connection, and that's really the point where connection happens, and that makes me so happy, because I feel like, okay, really now I'm really inside the story. I moved from doing something into being it, and I have so many brothers all over the world, and it really works. It's the message we are, that brought us together, the message that all of us, you know, kind of realized as somehow the essence of life, the essence of love and connection and peace, how peace works. And this is especially with you, man, on my side, and all the actors in our side, gives me such a fantastic feeling of being on the right path, and I'm so happy to know, wow, here we have something that's really worth sharing. It's the key. It's really the key to bring a huge shift from war to peace, and really from how I experience myself every day, when I can feel or realize, wow, with my partner, for example, a conflict is, there is some tension in the air, and the film and all the work around the film, and all the process which is connected with the film, more and more helped me to get in focus and to feel really now the energy of war, of battle starts. You know, when there's tension in the air, it's not interesting who started. It's not interesting what was my contribution, what was your contribution. It's interesting now. Now we create an energy field of war, and it's always, the way out is always, and that's my daily guide. Okay, now let's focus me. What's happening in me? It's the only interesting thing. Where am I? Am I able? Maybe first of all, I have to step out of the situation, to move my body, to get out of trauma energies, maybe, or to really come back to me, to connect with me, and then to feel, okay, how do I feel? What happened to me? And then to show up with it, and to say, oh, listen, that happened to me. I felt like this, I felt like that. This happened to me. And this is the film, this is the message of the film. This is my connection to you. And this is my daily work of staying in peace and not stepping out in war, in my relationship, in my friendships, everywhere. So if I try to talk what happened with the film and after the film with me, somehow I have the feeling it's all one in the meantime. It's the essence of my life. And it makes me just happy to have brothers on my side, because sometimes I'm also a little bit scared, because many people in my personal surrounding don't understand so well what the film is about, the message, why is that necessary, why the battle is over, what battle. So I have a lot of people around me who don't like the film, don't understand the film, don't understand what message is it, why is it from man to woman. This is a film from man to man, and so many things, and so many not understanding, or being in a completely different world, and understanding of how the world moves, that I'm so happy to have men beside me and on my side, and brothers on my side, and I know, okay, they feel the same, they see it in the same way, and that gives me so much power. And because anyway, I know, for me, for my heart, I know this is incredible, precious. It's a knowledge. It's an incredible, precious knowledge, and it's really worth to share it. It's really worth to show it. And sometimes I feel a little bit sad. I have the feeling the film is better to understand if you really watch it with your heart than just hearing the content, because what the men say is very much what the preconception, the collective preconception of man is about. You know, everybody knows it somehow, what we are sharing there. So it's not that surprising, for example, like when women share what they contribute to the mess between the genders. That's really new. That's something most of the people never saw. But when men share what they did towards women, it's a little bit what everybody knows anyway. And the special thing about, or the fantastic thing about our film is how they do it. Because that's the new thing, is the openness and the vulnerability that you really see in all phases of the film. You can see it's everybody is really touched, is open, is vulnerable. And if, for me, this is the most precious thing about our film, it's unique to see 86 men, one after the other, everybody really with an honest and vulnerable and true face, not acting, no facade. It's really true, and that touches me so much. And for me, that's the essence of the film. And it's very difficult to bring it into words. It's more the faces you see and the courage it takes to step over the fear of showing up. And so what I wanted to say is this is a critique I very often, or from many people I heard, you know, it's and also in the first event we had you know, it's not that touching like for example when women own their shadows, and I completely understand this perspective, and I think it changes when you really watch the film with your heart, watching the faces and watching the energy of how men behave and how they share and how they show up. It's not it's not just the content, not just the words they say. And yes, and because I hear this, sometimes I have the feeling maybe it's not clear enough, or it's in the same time I know this it's very true, it's very real. It's there was no storyline. It's how man showed up very honest and very pure, and that's the beauty, and that's unique, and it's I love that. I love the energy of our film, and I love what I feel and see when I see all these faces and the intention and the focus of this man. So this was a little bit an excursus to describe that, why it's so good for me to have you on your brothers on my side, because it's controversial. I have controversial reactions. I have beautiful reactions, but I have also controversial reactions in Germany on that film, and which I very often I really can understand from different perspectives, and I like to get this controversial feedbacks. Yes, so that's where I am now, and I would like to give over to Fernando in Argentine.
Thank you, Bernhard, and thank you all for this sharing. And at this moment, I feel very thankful to all of you, especially Bernhard, who organized it, and Etienne, who is, if we were in a camping, Etienne is, I think, keeping the fire in the middle, burning all the time around, and we are gathering around this fire. That's how I feel now. With blunt honesty. For me, it has been a very deep healing process. Once I realized the power that I felt after owning my own little part of the dark side, and exposing it, I felt during the last meeting a real true power that has nothing to do with the power I felt when I was involved in power games, especially among men. These power games have something always to do with competition and trying to win. And the power I felt was something connected to be more human. Whatever that can mean to all of you. But for me, it's actually, it's also not only a personal pathway, but it's a spiritual pathway. There is a song that says, in order to reach God, one has to learn to be human. And that's what I feel. I feel so much beauty in this power, that comes from opening to you. And it comes especially to open up to men, between men and facing women. It's really the beauty of love, of honest and true love. So it's like, for me, it's like giving a hug. You know, when you give a true hug to somebody and you embrace it, him or her, you're not only given, but you are feeling it. So you're also receiving something at the same moment. So it's not a transaction that you give and then you receive. It's at the same time. And that was the feeling during this last gathering. And that's what I'm feeling now, that as I talk to you and so give words, I'm receiving. I'm receiving something warm. And that's what I'm feeling, it's to be human. So I'm very thankful to have this gathering around this nice fire. Imagine that I'm imagining that it's around us. It's in the middle of us. I feel I have discovered also, because of this power, a new meaning of courage. I always have to keep putting goals to myself to show myself that I was not afraid. And this way of being more courageous, or show this new tender courage, changes my goals. So I'm no longer trying to achieve and new goals through challenges. I don't want to put myself into more challenges outside, but try to look inside and see what's the real challenge for me. That at this moment is to show that I'm afraid when I'm afraid. And that has been a space that was facilitated to be opened by the process of making the video, showing the video, and doing this last time too. I think I got also more acceptance of this fear of showing up and saying the blunt truth, without being proud of my dark sides, but just to be courageous enough to be sure that this action helps me, and then sooner or later it will all help all my relationships. So we are now, at least in Argentina, in a phase where fear is still all around. Fear for survival, fear for economical survival, and also for health. So it's also a time of opportunity for me to ask questions like, why are we here? Why I am here? And I think there could be multiple answers for that. But one answer I feel now is just to share and have this deep human feeling inside. Because I like it a lot. It's like eating a very nutritious meal. I'm feeling I have been on diet for a very long time. So every time I feel this warmth in the heart, I say to myself, okay, you have eaten well today. It's a good day that you have been alive. And again, I'm very thankful for being here. And I shared the worries of the concern of Etienne at the beginning, saying what I can see, the movement among women and the movement among men, how it flourishes much more among women. I'm very quite used to that. But I comfort myself when this thinking comes to me, that it's like with your own children, you put some seeds, and then sooner or later, with any expectations, something will grow. So I just try to leave expectations also on this movement, and I'm confident and sure that sooner or later, what is growing here will reach many more people too, especially men. I think that's it. So whoever wants to continue, it's welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. There are two things I'd like to contribute to. First thing is brotherhood. Bernard, you spoke about brotherhood, and it's something new for me. I've expected it. I've experienced it in workshops, in retreats, but there's something of a new level, like feeling like a newborn again, and a word, liberté, égalité, fraternité. It's part of the French values, but it's just something on the coin, and to be able to be together and to live this, to experience this, and to be together with this meditation you proposed us last time, and like, okay, I'm with my brothers, and we are all the same, and we are all one, and we are all with the same shadows and lights and hearts, and this is something I have been searching. I have been searching without knowing I was searching for this. And being together, the four of us, the five with Shaun and all these men, it's really this little line, this little story that is beginning of finding this truth of being together and what happens when we are together, not for power games, not for destroying or dominating, but to experience this together. And the second thing I thought about was what you said, Bernard, about the movie, that people know what we said and we should listen with the heart. It feels like, for me, it's like we are saying in the movie, one after the other, I don't want to be part of this story anymore. I don't want to be part of the stereotype of men. It's not just that I'm a feminist. It's not just that I disagree and women should have equal pay. It's not external world. I'm not speaking about the world as it is and as it should be. I'm speaking about myself. And I step up and I say, I don't want to be part of it anymore. And my way of doing it is saying, okay, look, it's not that I'm guilty, but I'm part of all these behaviors that are destroying women. And look, I'm going to show you a little part of me, and here you can see it. And here I'm going to show you something dirty that I do assume, but that is part of this that we are criticizing about patriarchy and men's domination on women, to make it short. And it feels like if just one of us would do it alone, it would be like, that's what we told you, he's bad and men are bad, and there's something like of shame and guilt and judgment, and being together and saying like, yeah, okay, I'm going to show you something of me, I'm going to show you a bit of my vulnerability, and then I see my brother and he's got the same, and then I see another brother and he's got the same, and I'm like, okay, so that's not just me, it's men in general, it's human in general, and it's not like I'm not the only one, I'm not the problem, it's just parts of us and parts of our story, and being able to be together in order to show this vulnerability and not feeling like, okay, people are going to judge me, but we are together in this, and we know we are not crazy. We know it's not guilt, it's parts that we want to take responsibility for, and being together in this process makes us like, okay, we know it's the right path. We know it's not saying what the world should be, but it's engaging in how I can start making my own work, not speaking for the outside world, but just trying to put it in my life, in my everyday life, because from what I heard and what we've experienced with my girlfriend, with Julie, it's in every couple, it's in every relation, it's everywhere, it's in families, it's in work, it's in society, everywhere, and like not talking about it or talking about it like an external system is like, oh, I'm not part of it. But we are all made of relations, and I feel like this is extremely important, that we carry on, that this message goes through, that more men feel like, okay, I can start to look at myself, and I can see all these parts, and maybe the fact that we are showing them, and we are showing them, okay, we are not like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we are not like all the men and beautiful, strong, and guys that will save the world, and no, we're not. We're just human, and it's good to be just human. that's enough. And we're not perfect, and that's good to be perfect. But the story, the big story that has been told about men, what we should be, what is waiting for about us, and I don't want to be part of it anymore. I just want to be human, and I just want to be able to show when I'm afraid, and show when I'm sad, and show how I feel, really. So I think that's, the battle is over. My battle is over. Yeah, and I don't want to be part of it anymore. So I choose to step out of that story, and I'm happy that it comforts me to see I'm not alone. It comforts me to be with you guys. It comforts me to see like, okay, we are more and more, and it's not speaking about it. It's showing it. It's really like being it, as you said, Bernard. Like, okay, I can show you where I've been wounded, and I can learn to see where I've been wounded, and places I didn't dare to look at because I thought like it was the other one's fault. And yeah, what a path, what a joy to discover this, and to be with you, and to feel safe when I'm with you. I feel like I can share my dirty hesitations and thoughts and feelings, but they're not dirty. They're parts of me, and when I judge them dirty, I put something in it where it's not good. It's all this judgment, dirty, good, that I want to bring up in the light, because it's not either dirty or good or whatever. It's parts of me, and yeah, thank you for acknowledging and seeing and being there for me to be able to share this and to put it in the light. It helps me a lot. J'ai parlé, as we say in French. Who wants to go next? Is there something you would like to add?
I think as we are just the four of us, it's even okay to keep it a bit short today. And I don't know if there's something left somebody wants to share, we can continue, or it's also fine to yeah, Etienne.
Yeah, when I see us four tonight, and I felt like we invited people, and I feel like, okay, I want to dream of a world where this is normal, where this is a new normal, where people, four guys sharing on streams and sharing about our emotion. I want to feel like this is okay, and this happens everywhere. I want to feel like this is welcome, and there's no risk. And men, I want to dream of a world where men can share their vulnerability without fearing or without having doubts. And I want to dream that one day in a very near future, we will be millions of men being able to share and recognize and own all the things that we do that hurt women, but also that hurt parts of us. Just want to use the moment we are together to be able to just see that in the future it's possible, that this is not just for men, but this is 400,000 or millions of men on this path. And I know it is happening already, and I know it will happen. So
I would like to express a little invitation to all men, and because I'm so passionate about the message of our film, I want to try to express this in very short again. But for me, the essence of our work is when I, in my daily life, have a conflict. Well, doesn't matter, my woman, my work, my child, whatever. The conflict from my conditioning here starts with you did. It's always focusing the other one. And it's always the entrance in battle energy. And the invitation is to realize, wow, it's me who feels now this or that. It's me who is triggered. It's me who is reacting. It's my feeling. This causes who I am in this moment. It's me. It's me who is creating a situation in my body. And this ability of realizing it's me, my world, my world, it's all about me. It's how I feel and what I create. And my invitation to all men, because I'm so happy about having found out about this, is connect with other men. Because from the moment where you connect with your brothers, with your friends, with men, it's easier to become aware of who I am, who I am as a man, because it's much easier to realize it when you get mirrors or if you see, oh wow, this man is very similar. This is similar. If he shows up, I feel the same. I feel that somehow I feel connected to all these men who are really opening up, and this gives me the possibility of realizing, wow, it's me. It's all about me who's creating my world and who's creating the understanding of it's a battle now. So this is my really big invitation to try to connect with men and to celebrate this possibility of being in brotherhood instead of competition. It's just awesome. It changes everything. And yeah, that's something I feel right now, and it's something I want to invite every man and to join us with this energy of being together instead of being in competition. And yes, Shipali. Who wants to continue? Shall we continue?
I think I'm good for tonight.
I think I'm good also. I imagine more like, I don't know, we're taking some practical action if there is any to take at this point, like a medication, what we do now. how we do something practical. And I was wondering if we should consider having an event where we want to bring up this conversation, or if a conversation is even helpful, or with women, inviting women purposefully, inviting women to be here to talk with us and to, I don't know, just putting out there.
Okay, so somebody wants to.
Just briefly to stress the invitation from Bernhard and what you have all said already, that I think the possibilities of offering and opening the heart is on the base of reducing most, if not all, suffering. So we are all committed with different activities and goals and places we want to go or to reach. But I think this is a space where men can come and really reduce the suffering, their own suffering. So I think that that is something that one cannot postpone. I think the moment is now. It's always now. So even if we are dealing in different parts of the world with different situations, that's my calling. That the time is ripe, the time is now, and this is a space where there's no competition among men, and nobody's trying to get anything, but just to feel free to express how one feels. That's it.
Okay. Etienne, do you want to close our meeting?
With pleasure, my dear brother. Thank you for coming. Thank you, guys. It's good to be in touch and feel the connection is still there over oceans and plains and forests, and we are in touch. Also to see in the first round, we were in the coronavirus in Europe, just beginning to get out, and now it's more like South America. So it's like there's a global wave and a global effect, and I feel also connected to that and connected to you, and it's a strong bond. I don't know, I have no idea where we are going, but I feel very confident being with you on this path. So I'm not really worried of what we will do next, and let's see from the reaction, if there are any on the social networks, if people have questions, needs, desires, and what we can do next. I'd say let's sleep on it, and let the night work to help us decide what we do next. Thank you for your honesty, your courage, and your hearts, your beautiful hearts. It's good to see you. See you next time. À bientôt.
Take care.
Cuídate, cuídense.
Cuídense.
Tschüss. Bye bye.
Adiós. Tschüss.
Ciao.
Ciao.